Alright, y'all. Here's part one of the Wolf in the Woods tumbler. We're going to get our glitters on via epoxy method and do the fade with the glitters here. So let me just get a little bit of epoxy here. I've got 5 mLs that I've mixed up. So when you're doing epoxy just for glitter adhesion, you don't need very much resin at all. Some would say that you could even use less than 5. I just found it a little hard to measure anything less than 5, so we're just gonna do 5. Nice even coat. Get it nice and thin. Might get a little few extra bubbles in there, but by the time you get it applied on the cup, you'll get those all smoothed down and popped. And plus it'll be glitter on top of them, so if they're there, you will not see them. Bit more in there. This is going to be plenty. Definitely think anything more than 5 will be a little bit excessive. You'll only end up using more glitter to cover up your project. So less is best when doing the epoxy method. If not, you're going to use up more of your good sparkly stuff. It's covering really well, nice and thin. We had a lot of interest on this particular tumbler when we posted it, and a couple people asked if I could do a little instructional video, so I was like, sure, why not? Alright, that's good. Nice light layer on the bottom. Alright, I got my heat gun here. I'm only gonna hit it with a little heat just to get some of the streaky and the waviness out of it. Got my Wagner, there it is. It's a thin coat, so you don't want too much. You don't want too much heat. You'll end up starting to dimple it or burn your epoxy. But literally, I'm just doing it till I don't see those little streaks or the wavy lines, and you'll be fine. Perfect. All right, so let's get this out of the way. And we're going to get this off the turner because now we're going to do our glitters. Let's get this out of the way. It's pretty and shiny. Got my Cindy slipper, and my little black dress is going to be the black. And I think, well, hold on, let me get the rim a little bit. Soft spot along the rim, like right up there. Yep. wax paper down. Let's get this off the turner. Do our little black dress first, which is our black holographic. And when I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna actually do it like an ombre. I'm gonna let it fade. So I'm gonna hold it at a nice little angle, let the glitter gradual fall as it wants to naturally, and then we'll do the other way with the other color, and that'll help them literally fade into each other much better. It's a pretty look too. It's just a little different than I normally do. Keep that little angle. And then just slowly move down and go evenly around. All right, that feels good. Now let me put a little bit more on the top. Because the epoxy will start to soak up. So if it looks a little slick, you just need to add some more glitter on there, that's all. You don't want it to be slick looking though. And I like to use the sprinkle because it just helps me control it better as it comes out. The pour side, I usually end up getting too much out of there than I want. So, all right. So still holding my angle, I'm just gonna tap lightly and let the excess fall off, but also letting the other glitter still gradually fall down with it as well. It all helps it fade into a nice gradual color change. Okay, so that's that color. Try to get as much off as I can. You can see how gradually it goes down. That's exactly what we're looking for. So let's do the next color, which is going to be our Cindy slipper, and it's a iridescent, I guess one of those kind of like cheat glitters, that what you call it. On top of the black, you're going to get the like greens and blue shifting tones in it. So I'll let you see that here in a sec. But here we'll start at the rim. That rim nice and quick before it doesn't dry up fast. But see, look, that's clear. You see how you get that hue to it? So I'm just gonna put this on flat now, and then we'll give it the angle here in a second. Get right about down to there. Then let's get a little angle on it like that. And you don't have to worry about them mixing, because with the epoxy method, the glitter that's already stuck to the epoxy is there. It's not going to go anywhere. You can't add any more on top of it. So the excess is just going to fall off. before I tap this, I'm going to move it out of the way so I don't get too much of the other color in there. But here is, so we'll get look at that. See how it beautifully faded down into there? That's exactly what we're looking for. That's a good first coat there. We'll bring you back for part 2. We're gonna take it out. So we're gonna let this dry for probably about 2 hours, maybe 3. We'll take it outside, spray seal it, let that sealer dry for an hour, bring it back, and put our epoxy layer on it with the pixie dust sprinkled in it. So let me see if I can give you a better view with the light turned off. Give me a second. Let's see, hold on. See if you can see the color shift. See that? Now, see little areas like that? We're gonna add more glitter. So what we'll do now is let's go back over the black, just in case, because it's gonna soak up some. You see it's a little different shade here. That means we just need more glitter on there. So let's grab the black and add some more to it. Hit the bottom again. Sorry about the lighting change, but I think this looks a little better. Epoxy's still kind of wet, so you can still add more glitter on there. Keeping my angle. Trying to hit that same spot as you go around and get it nice and even. That's pretty sparkly. All right, let's hit the semi slipper one more time and then get this baby outside to dry. Beautiful thing is with the epoxy method, always remember, if you feel like you need another coat, take it outside, spray it with Loctite, Gorilla Glue, or whatever before you even think about sealing it. You can come right back in, put another coat of glitter on there right away. So always keep that in your back pocket. Let me fill this back up actually. Excess black off of there. All right, Cindy, let's put some more of your slipper on there. See how it looks white, but it comes out iridescent on the black base. And it definitely needed another coat. Should we get the rim? That's looking much better. filled everything. Look at that. I'd say we are well on our way to a wolf in the woods. Catch you back for part 2. Alright guys, we are back and we're going to get the flood coat going on this now that the glitter and sealer has dried. After putting on the epoxy method, I've got my resin already mixed up and got my pixie dust on standby to mix in with the last few mLs that we have to go up top. So let's just get some resin on this baby, and we're going to be using Faux Rizzle UV Plus resin here with the enhanced UV inhibitors so your projects don't yellow as quickly over time. Let's get a nice good coat on it. This is a 30 ounce skinny straight actually, so no taper on this one. Sealed it pretty good. I shouldn't get any of the black glitter traveling up into our lighter area up top. It seems to be doing pretty well so far. Save that little bit left, and what I'll do, I'll just spread out what we have here between the top, and I'll also need to get some on the bottom, so we'll just gradually work that on in and down on the back side. Definitely got extra that we could spread around. That way we don't have to mix any more resin. I think I got about 5 or so left to mix the pixie dust in, which that's plenty than what we need. We just need to mix a little in there and drizzle up top to get our starry look for the sky. take a little bit of this excess from the top, and then we'll get it on the bottom. That's good. I'm going to work some of that back down to help even it out a little bit. That. So, no, I can't get my glove off it. Alright, so, got my pixie dust. Got my last few little mLs of resin. I'm literally only going to put a little bit in there, y'all. Show you how much you put in there. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. I want to mix it with the resin versus just sprinkling it on, so it can actually be covered with resin, so it can help flatten out with this layer of epoxy. That way, in our next layer, all we have to do is the white alcohol ink for the clouds. Flat end. Last time I just kind of spread this out with my hand. Actually, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. Chunkies a little spread around. see what was in there. That's one up there towards the top. I think that is going to be that. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of heat on it just to get it flatten out, level a little bit, and then that'll be it. We'll let that spin, come back in like 5 or 6 hours. Let me see if I can get it to focus on the tumbler. Yeah, you can see some of the chunky pieces in there. We'll get it to settle and level up, get hardened for us. That way we can come back and do the white layer with the clouds. There we go. Heat down here. Just give it a quick little blast. Don't keep it on in one area too long. Literally, I'm just gonna do one of these. That's it. Let's let this baby spin, let it set up, get hardened. I'll see you guys back here. It'll seem like a few minutes, but it's literally going to be about 5 or 6 hours. So thank you for checking that out. We got this part done, nice and good. See you back on part 3. All right, guys, we're back. Part 3, Wolf in the Woods. So we've already flood coated, and we have added our pixie dust in there. So now we are going to do a top coat with another layer of resin, and I'm gonna save like 5 mLs, then mix in my white alcohol ink into that last little bit, drizzle up in here in this little top area, hit it with some heat, and then after that we should be ready for decals. So let's get some resin on this baby. And we're using our full Rizzle UV Plus again, so no change in resin on this one. I buy that stuff by the gallon, so we don't usually run out of that. Now the only thing I did do before I came back is I did lightly wet sand this with a 220 grit sandpaper just to knock down any of the little crests or ridges uh, from glitter that was sticking up. It's just going to help us get the layer smooth. Not saying you have to do that, but it definitely helps with the rim and especially like along the edge too, bottom edge and the top edge. Should give us a nice, good, smooth coat, and then we'll be able to put our clear water slides and our vinyl decals on here, and you won't see any of the little bumps. Everything will be smooth. Don't want to see any of that in your water slides or your vinyl, so you want to usually 2 coats will usually get you to that epoxy smooth phase. Got 10 in there, so I'll take 5. That should leave us enough in there to mix. Nice little tidbit to know too, your white alcohol inks and your metallics, those are mixatives, and what that means is you want to actually drip them in the resin, mix them up, and then apply it onto your project to get the desired effect. You can do it without doing like that, but it's not gonna give you the effect that the outcome that you're looking for. The metallics tend to just bloom out, and the white just kind of wants to clump where you drip it. Yes, you can heat it up and it'll start moving, but it's not going to be fluid or milky like you're going to see when we mix it in the resin. Thus, why they call it a mixative. Definitely want to get this one smoothed out. I got a little extra on that side. Coat nice and even. Of course, doing like this too helps knock down any of those small little air bubbles or anything like that too. So the less heat we use, the better, the less chance we have of burning the resin or getting extra bubbles. Alright, so I'm feeling that. See if I got enough extra. Nah, it's not enough excess in there. Alright, so I've already shaken this up. Shake your alcohol ink up before you use it to get it mixed up. And you can see I got a little bit left. That's about 5 mLs. I'm gonna put like 5 drops in here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 7. 6, 7. Okay. Let's do that. You see it gets all nice and milky. Hey, boo. I'm doing a video, okay?
Huh?
So I'm doing a video, okay?
Should I be quiet or?
Yes, please. Alright, let's get that a little heat and see what we get. I have a little more left over. There we go. Look how pretty that is. Get a little bit more up in this area. Oh, as I missed it. About that, we got cut off, had a little phone call, but we are right back. I'm just gonna put a little bit more on here before we add a little bit more heat. A little bit there. Ooh, back up. Break up those lines a little bit with the heat. Thins them out a little bit. Get that up there. All right. That, I think I'm gonna give it just a little tilt. Just a little bit. And then just a little tilt back down. Put that down here. Alright, I'm going to get this baby covered up, and the next time you will see me, we'll get some decals and some water slides ready. Alright y'all, thanks for being patient. We are back with decal day finally for the Wolf in the Woods. So I've got a vinyl moon that we printed just on regular vinyl with a little gray accents, and I've got some birds that we printed in vinyl. The wolf and the wispy trees are clear water slides. So let's turn this off and get rocking and rolling. I think we're gonna have the wolf right around somewhere in there, so that's good. So let's get the wolf in the water. We got warm water, and we're using our koala clear water slide. Get my little paper towel ready. Let's get one of the little sections and do it in fourths. That's for getting rid of the excess water when we do the slide. Warm water again. This thing is really smooth, so let's put a little bit of water on there, and I think the wolf is ready to slide off. Yeah, it's ready to slide. Put him right on there like so. Press down gently and just give it a little squeegee. Get as much of that water from under there as you can. It won't slide as much, but it's still, remember, we got water underneath, so it will slide a little bit. Squeeze it as best you can. Then a few hours later is when we'll come back and epoxy this baby. So wolf's on. He looks good. My next step I do is I get this one flipped over and get ready to put the moon opposite that. Let's see. That looks about centered up. You see it's got a little bit of the gray. You can see that printed. So I'm not going to use contact paper with this. It's literally just a circle. But I will need contact paper for my birds. I told myself to get it, but it's okay. They're just right inside. Alright. Moon. I don't want water underneath there. Get that excess from that came around. Get a nice big pretty moon. It's always start in the middle and work my way out when I'm doing vinyl, especially bigger pieces like that. And just get it laid down nice and flat. Alright, and since we have this one here, we're going to do our first big tree over that. So let's get that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and get the second one in there as well for when we do the other side with the wolf. If you're hesitant and you want to wait, if you're doing something like this, if you want, because I'm doing water slide on top of that wolf, which is also water slide. If you're not comfortable, just let it dry longer and then go back and do it. But I think I'm fairly comfortable enough that I'm gonna put the slide over the other one too. So it should be ready. Yep. That from under there. Yeah, just gently hold her down, give it a little squeegee. Hold the top, squeegee down. And that's all you have to do for the water slide. It's just pretty simple to work with. A bit of that extra water off of there. Let me turn this inside out. It's a little more dry. Alright, so let's get that. We got that on there. Let's turn over to get the one for the wolf. And just get a little bit of that extra dampness that went around. See, here moves a little bit, but not too much, so it won't move at all once it's dry. Alright, so let's go this one on top of here. Go ahead and put a couple of the small ones in the water now, getting ready for us to go around and put those on as well. So same deal, gentle press down, a light little squeegee. Squeeze you out that way a little bit. Always cut as close as you can to your images too, even when you're doing clear. How cool is that? You got that tree over there. Let me just give you a little spinny. Let you check it out. I'm gonna put another tree somewhere in there. Where is my actual other model? So it looks like from the model I was able to get two in between. So we will go with the shorter one first. Let's go with the shorter. Almost ready for a new piece of paper towel. Let's give it a little spin and get a one in between there, right? Let's see here. Let's see that one. I'm gonna do two small ones in there. So let's do that. Small. Almost there. We're on the home stretch, y'all. A couple smaller ones, but I gotta branch off for that one. kind of cut that one at a little sliver at an angle, and then just attach it onto this one here. Perfect. Let's get this thing around to the other side. And we've got a shorter one and a taller one. So let's put that shorter one next to it. Actually, the taller one's already ready. So let's do it now. Pretty wet, so grab another one. I'm gonna keep it to the side though and let it dry, because once it dries out, we can just use it again for our next project. Got room for another tree right in there. Perfect. Some birds on here, y'all, and we're done. Fini. And up in the other little water we see. All right, let me go grab some contact paper real quick. Hold on, real quick. Let me pause you. All right, got the contact paper. We got some birds, contact paper. Let's finish this baby up. Smooth the water, no longer needed. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. And we just use the cheesy shelf liner stuff from Dollar Tree. Occasionally you'll find a batch that leaves residue. Don't use it, just toss it. Toss that whole roll. Just, you know, go get you, or take it back with your receipt or whatever, and just get you another one that doesn't leave residue. Because it happens, but we don't buy the strong grip or any other brand or whatever. This stuff works just fine for $1. Clear shelf liner from Dollar Tree. Let's get this. Now, if you are attempting to do this, remember you have water slide on here. This is sticky. It'll pull the water slide off. I'm kind of cautious of where I know around that I can go around any of this area in here, because I know that I cut close to the trees. So just always be mindful if you're putting stuff on there, because it will pull it up. So we just start placing our birds. I think I'm gonna try to get a few in this little area. Let's get one kind of soaring up there. Oh, didn't want you there. You're not supposed to be there. Come on. It's all right. We'll put you in there. We'll put you right on in there. well, this around. I think I had a small one or two on the moon that looked kind of cool. Put another little small one up there. Let me get one right in here. Let me see. No, one up here. A little bigger. That. I like to get a small one down in there. Just got to be real careful. I'm right in between my derm. Oh, see, I'm pulling it up. All right, so be careful with that. And I will stick that back down. That, okay. It's better. Let's see if I can get another smaller one. Actually, I'm just going to take it off of there with my finger. There. Let me see if I can get one more right over there by the wolf face, a little bigger one. Let me see which way we get them going. We get it flying that way as well. Perfect. Once you add the birds and the trees on there, it really makes it. So there you go. Before resin. So we're gonna let this sit. I gotta let that water dry. Get all and any excess that you see hanging around the cup. To get all that stuff, but I'll either do this tomorrow. I'll let this dry overnight, or let it 4 or 5 hours. I could probably put resin on it tonight before bed. So, and this is a 30 ounce, so I'll probably cover it with I think 25 mLs. I'll try 20, I believe, at first. 20 might get it, and then if not, we will lightly sand, do another coat, and that 20 will probably finish it off. So try not to use too much resin. That way you don't get the muffin top or the saggy bottom if you use too much and it's not level. Try to use as much as you can, but only as much as you need. And that's it, y'all. Wolf in the Woods. We'll be back. Next video you see, we'll be covering this thing with some resin and finishing it on up. Alright guys, we're back, and literally all we have to do is put some resin on this baby and hopefully it'll be done. So exciting stuff. Resin's already mixed, ready to go. And I have my gloves on. Also ready to rock. So let's get this baby coated and done with. Aside from using this one as a tutorial cup, I'm pretty sure our client's going to be happy to get their tumbler. I will thank her for being patient and let me use her tumbler as a tool to help everyone if they decide they want to make a tumbler like this, Wolf in the Woods. I mix 25 mLs. Usually I would do 20, but I had excessive decals and water slides on this one, so a mixture next to 5 just to make sure we get good coverage. Hopefully we can do it in one shot. If not, we'll do another coat tomorrow. Make sure we get the rim, the top edge up there. Not sure where that piece of pink glitter came from, but we don't need that. Thank you. Spread that over onto that area that didn't have it. We got plenty on there. Nothing like seeing your finished product come to life with this pretty glossy resin. Help it out, get it nice and smooth. Sure what that is. Get that off of there. That looks really good. So what I'm gonna do, let me see if I can get any of this excess off, but I don't think so. It's all nice and thick. Let me get the heat gun. Let's put a little heat on it, pop in there little micros, let her spin, and be done with it. Trusty Wagner. Getting the heat gun on it also will help it to level out a little quicker as well. Bottom. looking pretty darn good, y'all. I'm gonna let this baby spin overnight. I'm gonna cover it up with a one of our little plastic bins that we got from the depot. We'll check on it in the morning, and hopefully it'll be done. Oh, let me get it to focus up a little bit. There we go. Move that out the way, and she's looking good, y'all. All's well, ends well. We'll see you on the next one. Guys, we are back, and we were able to get that final layer on the Wolf in the Woods. And hold on, let me see if I can get the camera to focus up. There we go. Get it to focus on the glitters and how pretty, sparkly, fabulous it is. Hope you guys enjoyed that little tutorial. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you, but you could get something to come out nice and pretty like this, or even nicer. So if you got any questions or anything, feel free to drop them down in the comments, and stay crafty. See you on the next one.